In this video we will create once again a Telegram agent, but this Telegram agent will be a lot bigger. It will have access to our mails, to our calendar, and we can also talk to this thing. So not only write with this thing, also talk to this thing. So let's just dive straight into it. First things first, of course, what you can eventually do is to talk to this thing also in this chat. But if you want to do this, you need to deactivate this Telegram agent. So you want to deactivate it. Then we can simply use the same credentials. If you want to leave this active and you want this agent active in this workflow, then you need to create a new agent. So you would simply go to the bot filter, you would press once again /new bot and so on, create your credentials and so on. But for the sake of this tutorial, I just want to keep it all in this thing here. And then we can simply activate the Telegram bots that we want to activate. So first, let's just deactivate this thing right here. Then we press create workflow. We press plus on the first node. Of course, we use once again Telegram. So we press on it. And we use, of course, once again on message event. We connect with this Telegram account 4. So this is basically once again just this chat. So we can simply leave it as it is. And we can press test step in order to test this thing out. If we type in hey, this thing should get triggered immediately. So you see, boom, this thing is working. And if we want that we always talk to this thing, we can simply activate it, press got it. And if we press or type in hey once again, we can come back to executions and you see that the execution comes through here. If you deactivate this, come back to your personal thing here and activate this Telegram bot from previous. You can chat once again with your old bot and the old bot can do research. You already know it. If you type in hey right now, our new bot will simply ask you, hello, how can I assist you today? So this will be the bot that we have created, of course, in the last video. So this is important that you understand this. If you want to have it in the same chat, you can simply leave it, throw it to inactive from the old chat, use the new chat and go on here. And if you want to have it in a completely new chat, you can simply create a new one with the same schema that we did in the previous video. But because I want to do it as fast as possible, we just leave it as it is. And we give this our new name. So let's just say Telegram 2. And we go on, of course, with our next node. So we press plus. But right now we need a different node because we want to classify. We also want to talk to this bot. What I want to use right now is the switch node. We press on it and the switch node, we want to have two values here. Let's just see if this thing is connected. Yes, it's connected. We can also once again type in hey here. So you see it's simply the same chat. So right now you saw that here we have some data and right now we can map this data. I want to map this in audio and into text so that we can simply classify our answers. Because here in Telegram you see that you can also talk to your bot. What we want to do is value 1. We want to have text as value 1. We throw it in here. Then we want to rename this output and we simply call it text. And this text here we want to have, of course, a string and we want to have exist. So if the string exists, this route will get triggered. And then we want to add another routing rule. The other routing rule, we call it audio. And then we need to give, of course, an audio value. But right now we do not have an audio value, so we need to get one. So let's just get an audio. And we do it by pressing on test workflow. We come back into Telegram. This is a test event. We send this out. Right now we have audio. We can press on it. Right now you see audio value. We find the audio on the left side. Down here you see voice, and what you want to use is the file ID. So we throw in the file ID here. Boom, there we have our classification. So if we have text, our first route will get triggered, and if we have audio, our second rule will get triggered. Let's just test it. If we press on test workflow, and if I type in hey, we should, in theory, trigger the first route. So you see it here. If we do it once again, press on it, and use the audio as route, you will see that we get the second route down here. If you press on it, you see that the second route, the audio route, got triggered. At least in theory it should work. Why it did not work, I hope you saw it. I have forgot something previously. It's of course not equals to, is string and it's exist. So right now it should work. Test workflow. This is our second audio test because I was stupid. And right now it's green, so right now it seems to work. So you see right now our audio root is existing, and now we can go on with our workflow. Now we want to go on with the text route. We press plus. We want to use the edit node. Edit field set, we press on it. Right now we have no data, so of course we need to do it as always, this workflow. We type in hey, then we have of course our data. The data comes through, we can press on this field. We can give this thing a name, for example text, and then we use the value from here. Let's just see where it is. It is of course the text hey, so we can throw in the value here as text. If you press this step, this thing should come through as JSON and it's called hey of course. So this thing seems to work. The next thing that I want to use is the advanced AI and the AI agent. And the AI agent, we press on defined below and we use the text from our edit field. We use the text, we throw it in here. And then we can also just close this down, press plus because we need a chat model. Let's just use once again, let's just say GPT-4 Omni. I think we need the big one, the small one is like way too weak for our use case right here. And right now we can chat with this thing. So we can test this out. If we simply type in hey once again, our AI agent will get triggered, and if you open this up, let's just see, hello, how can I assist you today is the answer from our AI agent node. But of course we want to talk with this thing, but we have a problem. If you go on this thing right here, the GPT-4 Omni model, this is not a multi-model model. Of course you can use, for example, the GPT-4 audio preview. This would be multi-model, so you can simply connect this field also here, but only if you use the multi-model AI. Because we do not use this, I think this is way too expensive. We want to do it with a different way. So we want to press plus. We want to have whisper here in between so that we get a transcript from our audio, and the transcript will then come into our AI model and then it should work. Before we can use whisper, we need Telegram, we press on it and we need get file. Let's just see, there it is. Right now we have no data, so we will get the data soon, the file ID. We need later the file ID. Let's just type in some numbers so that we can test this out. Let's just press test workflow. This is once again a test event. It comes through. This thing of course is red because we have not connected it correctly. And right now we can give the file ID, so we would delete this of course. If you have already data, you can skip this step with the file ID. You find the file ID down here, voice, file ID, we throw the file ID in here, and then download needs to be toggled on because you want to download this thing. If you press this step, you will be able to download your data. Boom, there we have our data, and with this downloaded data we can go on. Because this downloaded data we need Whisper in order to make a transcript from these. So we press plus here. Now Whisper, I do not think that Whisper is included, no, so we need of course the OpenAI node. So we press on it, transcribe a recording, and we can include this. Our OpenAI credentials are connected, resource is audio, the operation is transcribe a recording, and the input field is of course data, so it's basically this data that comes here through, and it's binary, everything is automatically correct, so we press test step, and then in theory we should get this thing right here. This is once again a test event. This is of course the stuff that I told in Telegram previously, so this thing seems to work perfectly. We can close this down, so right now we make a transcript out of this thing. Let's just organize this a little bit. So what we want to do right now is of course to use this transcript and to connect it with our AI agent node. Now this thing from the second root is now also connected to our AI agent, and we need to press on it once again. And once again we need to press on define below. We come back to schema and we include this text from OpenAI. So you can also delete this from previous, and we throw in this stuff down here. This one is a test event, you see it. So let's just see if this is working. Test workflow. Hey ChatGPT, how are you doing? We send this out, we get our transcript, the AI agent node gets us an answer. And if you press on it, hello, I'm just a program, and so on. And now let's just test the text root, so we press on it once again. We type in, hey, it does not really matter, and we also get our answer back. So this is important. Here you see that you will get this completely automatical. So as soon as you use this edit fields text root, our text from JSON will get executed, and if not, of course, also our OpenAI route will get triggered. So this seems to work perfectly. What I like to do right now is of course also to include once again a Windows buffer memory, because I think like a buffer memory is always a cool tool to have. So we simply use the memory, the Windows buffer memory, we include it. Of course we need to press defined below. We want to have it once again for 10 messages. We want to have the key, and the key is of course the chat ID. So we simply come back to the chat ID and throw in the chat ID down here, and then we are connected. So right now we have of course also our chat ID included with our Windows buffer memory. Seems to work just fine, at least for me. Now, I have to tell you, if these workflows get a little bit big, it can be that they seem to be a little bit messy from time to time. But of course, you can simply connect them however you find them cool, however they are perfect for you. Right now we have a simple agent that we can trigger via voice and also via messages. But of course we want to talk with this thing inside of Telegram. So of course we need to add Telegram once again. And this time it's of course send a text message. We included Telegram for message, send message, then we need the chat ID and the text of course, and you find both of it here. So the chat ID is this one here, and the text is of course the text that comes from the AI agent as output. Hello, how can I assist you today? It's this thing down here, and then we can test it with testing workflow. We open up Telegram. What is an LLM? Explain it fast and easy. We get our transcript, AI agent works, and it tells me what it is. Then we press on it, because once again I do not want to have the n8n attribution, so we toggle it off. We test workflow once again, and we test also the text route. We press send, and boom, hello, how can I assist you today? Now we include mails. So let's just search for, let's just say Gmail, the Gmail tool. And what I want to have is my Gmail account connected. If you do not have it connected, just please create new credentials. Because you are working in the cloud, you can simply press sign in with Google, so this is really easy and fast. So we close this down, I am already connected. The tool description set automatically perfect. Resource is message. The operation is first, let's just say get many. Because I want to have here a little bit of a summary of my mails. I do not want to have too much, let's just say maximum of 10. It should be simplified and all of this should work. So right now Gmail is included, and now we go of course into my AI agent once again, add options, system message, we make it as an expression, we make it big, and now we should start to build out our system prompt, and we will make this bigger over time. And we start with something like this. Role. You are an assistant with access to multiple tools. I just call it multiple because we will add more tools later. Behavior. You respond concisely and succinctly in a friendly and approachable style. Tools. You have access to multiple tools. Always use the appropriate one depending on the task. And one tool is of course the Gmail summary. Use this tool to summarize emails. And of course the Gmail summary tool, we can simply copy these. We come back to Gmail, and we need to call this also Gmail summary so that we don't have any confusion. So we want to rename it. And right now, let's just see if this thing is working or not. Test workflow. We can press on it. Summarize my last 3 emails. We will send this out. Let's just see. This thing will get triggered, and now we will get a summary of my last 3 mails, and I will get my summary into Telegram. Let's just see if I can show you these mails. Here are the summaries of my last 3 mails. I have a new customer in one of my products. I have an email about the Make Affiliate program, and I have an email about a podcast episode. And if I come back to my mails, I can show you this thing right here, that I have a new customer here, but everything else, I just don't want to show everything else from my mails. But this thing was accurate. Next thing, I want to also send mails. So I press plus, I use the Gmail tool once again. So Gmail tool, let's just use this time Gmail account, set automatically, message, send. Then to who do I want to send? I can simply let the AI decide, or I can also use a bind vector store, upsert my email addresses and do a lot more. The subject should the AI decide. The type is text. You can also use HTML, use whatever you like. And the message should also the AI decide. So let's just send the email. But before we do this, we need to specify our system prompt. I want to make this big. Besides the Gmail summary, I have my second tool right now. Gmail Send. Use this tool to send emails. You sign every mail with Arnie and never use empty placeholders for names. Ensure that the email are well formatted with a proper body. And I think this is fine. So what we want to do right now is to press test workflow. Let's just type in here some text. Send a mail to this email. Tell him I love the n8n course. And I send it out. It seems to work, everything gets triggered, and Telegram says to me I've sent the email letting them know that you love the n8n course. And if I come back to my mails, feedback on n8n course, I can press on it. Hey there, I just wanted to let you know that I absolutely love the n8n course, and so on. Best regards, Arnie, because we have told this tool that it should always sign off these emails with Arnie. Here is hey there, because I don't have specified any names in this email address. I can simply tell here send a mail to Arnie and let him know and so on. I hope you know what I mean. But what we want to do is, of course, as always, press on it, add options, append n8n attribution. We want to toggle this off. And let's just test this once again. Send a mail to, let's just say, Frank, and tell him good job. His mail is this right here, and then we send this out. Now we need to press test workflow once again, of course. Now our workflow gets executed. Telegram tells me that the email was sent to Frank. Hey Frank, just wanted to drop a quick note to say good job, best Arnie. And this time also no n8n attribution at the bottom. So also this seems to work. Now let's just add the calendar. So we press plus. What we want to do is to use the calendar tool. So Google Calendar tool. On this Google Calendar a few things are important. Let's just say Google Calendar account, you need to connect of course these. So please just press create new and sign in with your Google account if you work in the cloud. And if you work locally, you can also do this with this Google Cloud Console. We have already done this a lot of times. So let's just throw this out of the window because we are connected. The tool description is automatically. The resource is event. The operation is create because I want to create new events. Then the calendar list. I just use this calendar here so that I can show you later. And then these things are important, start and end. Here we want to have the AI deciding. We do not want to have that every event starts now. So the AI should decide. And also the AI should decide when the event needs to end, so that we can simply type in our chat. Then you see, use the default reminders, work for me. Everything else should working right now. Calendar, Google Calendar, I want to rename this. Let's just fix first the system prompt. So we go on to the system prompt, and here we need to do something special right now. Before we start with our tools, I want to do this right here. Date and time, 2 curly braces, this is now really important, a $sign, and we want to have now here, so that the thing always knows what's the date and the time. This is really, really important. And then we add, of course, our calendar tool. Let's just call it calendar set. Use this tool to schedule appointments in the calendar. So we copy these, we come back here, and this Google Calendar, we call it, of course, let's just see, calendar set, and we press rename, so that we will absolutely use this thing every time that we want to create new events. You also need to make sure to press on these 3 dots, go on to settings, and please remember to use the right time zone so that you do not have any problems with this thing. Now this thing knows what time zone I am living in, and it also knows, because of the system prompt, what time and the date is right now. So let's just test this out. Let's just create an event in my calendar. So this is a calendar that is relatively empty. Today is the 26th. So let's just create an event, for example, for today at, let's just say, in an hour. So let's just say at 5 p.m. We come back here, test workflow, create an event in the calendar. I want to drink a coffee with my mom at 5 p.m. We get our transcript. Agent gets triggered and we have a problem. Why do we have this problem? What's the date for the coffee with your mom? Have I forgot to say this? Create an event in the calendar today. Today I want to drink a coffee with my mom at 5 p.m. Test workflow. It gets triggered. And this time it seems to work. I've scheduled your coffee with your mom today at 5 p.m. and show your time together if there's anything else and you so on. And you see also the calendar set gets triggered. Let's just come into my calendar and the calendar is 5 p.m. and if I press on it, yeah, right now we have a small problem. We do not have any name for this, so let's just fix this. We come back to the calendar. We need to have additional fields. Let's just see summary and the AI should decide. So right now we should also get a title. I think this works better. Save, test workflow, we open Telegram and let's just do something else. Today at 6 p.m. I need to walk my dog. You should throw it in the calendar. It's working and so on. I've added and so on at 6 p.m. Now we come in the calendar and there we have it. 6 p.m. walk the dog. And if I open it up, it's perfect. So 6 p.m. like 30 minutes, but we can also be more specific because we have also the end date. Let's just test once again with the end date, test workflow. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. I need to walk the dog. It will last 2 hours. You should throw it in the calendar. Agent is working, we trigger the right tool and we get the message hopefully back, boom. So from 7 to 9, let's just go in the calendar and there we have it. At 7, walk the dog and if we open this thing up, it lasts 2 hours until 9. So you see, the calendar set works completely perfect. Let's go on. We want to have a calendar get event. So press plus, no, let's just actually press plus here. Calendar get, so we press on calendar. Google Calendar account set automatically. Event is this time not create, but get. No, actually get many because I want to have a lot of events. We want to use this calendar. Return all. Yeah, I think it's fine. With 50 limits, I just have some data here. Time, the AI should decide. Also here the AI should decide. And there we have it. Now we come into the system prompt and we add once again a small little tool to our agent. Calendar get. Use this tool to find calendar events and inform me when I have an appointment. I copy this calendar get and I want to rename the calendar, of course, to calendar get and rename it. Now let's just see if we find these events. Test workflow. Do I have something on the calendar today? The AI decides, uses most likely the calendar get, there we have it. And now we will get the message back. Today you have 2 events actually. So coffee with mom from 5 to 6, walking the dog 6 to 6:30. This works, we have already created these. And what do I have to do tomorrow? Because of our Windows buffer memory, this should work if I press test workflow. Let's just see. We have the context that it should search for the calendar events. There we have it. So in the morning from 7 to 9, I need to walk the dog once again. And at 5, I have a live call. And if we come back to my calendar, let's just close this down. You see, at 7, I need to walk the dog. And at 5, I need to have a live call. So boom, there we have it. We have a gigantic agent that works really, really well. And it was relatively easy to create. Now what you can do here is, of course, to go on with these tools. You can press plus. And you can add a vector store. You can also eventually just use Gmail and use every single Gmail tool that you have. So you can just delete stuff. You can get many. Mark as read, mark as unread, remove labels, and so on. You can go on with these events like on and on and on forever. But I have to tell you, sooner or later, this agent will run into problems. If you use like every tool under the sun, you will have gigantic problems. You can add like 4 or 5 Gmail tools or 4 or 5 calendar tools, and it will be messy. In order to make this even bigger, you need to trigger sub workflows, and that's what we want to do, of course, once again in the next video. In the next video, we will go one step further. We will make this agent a lot bigger. And we will also add the function that this agent will talk to us back. So see you in the next video. In the next video, we will create a gigantic agent. We will try to push the limits. We will try to make something like Jarvis from the Marvel movies from Iron Man. So see you in the next one. Because in this video we did a lot. I just wanted to give you a quick overview. We started with the Telegram trigger node. Of course, we need to connect our API accounts. We need to make this token with the Telegram bot. Then we want to have a switch node. The switch node decides if we talk to the AI or if we are writing text to the AI. If we have text, we use the edit fields and throw it in the agent. If we talk to the AI, we need to download our file. The downloaded file will get transcribed by Whisper and then it comes into the agent. The agent has also as resources the text, of course, and a good system prompt. And in the system prompt, we give role, behavior, date and time, and the tools that the agent can use. And then everything that we need to do is, of course, to give the agent a chat model, a Windows buffer memory with the chat ID, and all the tools that the agent should have access to. And lastly, once again, we connect Telegram so that this thing also talks back into Telegram. Congratulations, you have a really good agent, and in the next video, like I told you, we try to push the boundaries a little bit.